puns for the most part can be extremely cringe, and there are so many crude puns in this series, and I'm not just referring to the title. Back to the channel, folks, and welcome back to yet another installment of TV Thoughts. Yeah, I know, this is more of a surprise TV Thoughts installment, but seeing as how this show just ended recently, and seeing as how it got all the Emmys that it did, I finally decided to take the leap and binge through Schitt's Creek. And I really want to discuss this show further with you guys. I just finished season 1, so we're just gonna do that for now. I don't have a set schedule to discuss the rest of the series, but be on the lookout for more of these. Because this is a show I really want to discuss with you guys, because first off, this is an extremely farcical premise. Schitt's Creek is a sitcom about a wealthy family, the Roses, who lose their entire fortune, and they are subsequently forced to move to Schitt's Creek, a dreary small town that they purchased once as a joke. So like I said, this is a very simple premise, and this feels like it's gonna be a very simple show for me to binge through. I've only gotten through one season at the time of recording, but each episode is only about 20 minutes long on average, which is about usual for a sitcom, thinking about it. I gotta admit though, I don't watch a whole lot of the newer sitcoms, but the older sitcoms, the one that I watched growing up, I noticed one recurring theme. They always had the audience laugh track. Usually they were recorded in front of a studio audience who would actually laugh at a lot of the jokes, and then the piped in laugh would be edited in later. Perfect example, my favorite sitcom of all time, Friends. It does have a lot of that piped in laughter sprinkled throughout to kind of tell us what's funny, but taking that out, I find Friends hilarious, albeit a lot of really dated dialogue. What I really love about Friends are the characters and the chemistry they have together. And similar to Friends, I've got a feeling that I'm gonna really dig the crap out of Schitt's Creek, especially as I continue to watch it, because again, these characters and their family dynamic, so powerful and so funny. Co-creator Eugene Levy as the patriarch Johnny is fucking hilarious. He tends to play the straight man of the bunch, who sells a lot of the ridiculousness going on around him, and he plays that straightness so well. I feel like Levy was just baffled at a lot of the things going on, just... Man, I don't think anyone else in Hollywood or in TV land has a better baffled look than Eugene Levy. How about Catherine O'Hara also? Man, was she good. Now, I really enjoy a lot of her work in films from the 80s and the 90s. Beetlejuice and Home Alone are a couple of them that spring to mind. But playing the matriarch Moira, she is proving that she's back and here to stay. This character is just so snooty, and O'Hara sells that excellently. There is just so much ridiculous stuff going on with her also. I cannot wait to see where she goes. I think Annie Murphy as the daughter Alexis also does a very good job. Very similar to Moira, very snooty, very gossipy also. But I will admit, her storylines were the ones I was kind of least interested in. I don't know what it was, but to me they felt very soap opera, if you get me. But as mentioned, I'm sure most of you watching have already finished the show, so I'm assuming it gets better from here. I hope so. Because again, this is only season 1, so I hope that soap opera aspect doesn't linger on throughout the rest of the series, because I do think this is a very fascinating individual. Now, keeping on the subject of fascinating, let's talk about David Rose for a minute, shall we? He's played by Daniel Levy, son of Eugene, co-creator of the show, and I have a feeling that David is going to be my favorite character of the entire bunch. There's one line that he utters. I'm not exactly going to spoil the context, but he's shopping for wine with his significant other, Stevie, and he says something along the lines of this. I don't know if this is directly quoting or not, but he said something along the lines of, "I like the wine, but not the label." That is one of the most subtle and most respectful ways I've seen, not even just film or TV, just one entertainment piece in general. That is one of the most respectful ways, I think, to reveal who this character is. And I cannot wait to learn more about David, especially after that heart-wrenching cliffhanger in the season finale. And that's something this sitcom has that I've noticed a lot of others these days haven't. It's got a lot of heart and passion behind it, and it shines. I can really tell that this is a passion project for Eugene and Daniel. This is just so great. Also, there's a character in this sitcom named Roland Schitt. I mean, you can't get that anywhere else. Now, those sitcom laughing tracks I mentioned earlier, like the ones you would hear in Friends, yes. Drake and Josh, yes. Full House? Schitt's Creek isn't like any of those sitcoms. That laughing track, nowhere to be found. And I honestly think the lack of the piped-in laughter really helps the show's comedy tons. Like a lot of entertainment, comedy is very subjective. People will find different things funny for different reasons. And I briefly touched on this earlier, but I feel like when shows like Friends piped in that laughter, it would tell people where to laugh. Almost like it's begging for laughter in some cases. I mean, Friends didn't have to beg for laughter like Full House did, but you can tell I really fucking hate Full House, guys. A lot of that humor is very baseline in that show. I'm sorry. Controversial opinion, I don't care. Full House is terrible. I digress. With Schitt's Creek not including the piped-in laughter, it puts more of the focus on what you as the viewer think is funny, not necessarily what they think is funny. And I think that right there is what makes this show as popular and as fun as it is. But all that said, I'm gonna give Schitt's Creek Season 1 a B. Now, I'm completely aware that this grade may be one of the most controversial things you've seen me post. But the thing is, I found a lot of the episodes this season very predictable, so that's definitely looming over this one. I'm hearing that later seasons don't have that problem as much. Does every joke land for me? No. And again, there were some stories and characters that I wasn't as invested in emotionally as some of the other ones. Alexis. Now, if it makes you guys feel any better, I would probably give Season 1 of Friends the same grade of a B. So I think it's a sign. I have a feeling that these grades as I continue this binge will start to skyrocket up. But you know what? So far, so good. 2 thumbs up. I'm enjoying Schitt's Creek. I can't wait to see where it goes. I can't wait to discuss this show further with you guys. What do you guys think of Schitt's Creek? Well, who's your favorite character? What's your favorite episode? I'd love to discuss that all with you down in the comments section below. And if you guys are enjoying this content and you guys want to see my thoughts on future seasons and all my other content on the channel for that matter, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can so you guys can stay in the loop anytime a new upload hits. If you guys enjoyed the video also, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. I'd really appreciate that. Look out for more exciting content hitting the channel very soon, including more Schitt's Creek discussion. Of course, updating you on some newer releases also and my thoughts on those, as well as the continuation of my David Fincher series, so lots more to look forward to. And you guys are awesome. Seriously, thank you again for watching the video. Thank you for supporting the channel up to this point. I'm absolutely floored and humbled to be here. And with all that being said, back talk, commence!